O Flash Camp Brasil é realizado por Adobe e Action Creations. Patrocínio Platinum, BlackBerry Playbook. Patrocínio Prata, Velo Telecom. Patrocínio Bronze, Wacom, Influxes, Chambi, Reacycle, The Click. Apoio, Jornada Adobe, Tango, Alternativa Platform, O'Reilly, Abra Web, Rádio Jovem Pan, Faculdade Maurício de Nassau, Marca Viva TV, linda.com.
Lembrando também, para quem estiver usando os canais sociais para comentar sobre o Flash Camp, por favor, usar a hashtag flashcampbrasil e para os for Americans, flashcampbrasil with S. Lembrando também do App Contest, o concurso de aplicativos já está lá no site do evento, então quem puder entrar no flashcampbrasil.com.br, a gente tem lá todas as... é o segundo link aqui na navegação, onde você vê as regras que eu falei ontem, as categorias estão aqui embaixo, então você pode participar da categoria da BlackBerry, por exemplo, ou então das demais, como o Wacom. Se você desejar participar dessa categoria, aqui explica um pouco, dá algumas ideias de aplicativo para vocês, links para vocês entenderem um pouco mais sobre a plataforma deles, explica como fazer o download do SDK, como você criar as aplicações. E se você quiser participar dessa categoria, você clica aqui em participar dessa categoria. Aí você tem que submeter 3 coisas principais, que é o nome da sua aplicação, qual o nome, como você quer chamar o seu aplicativo, passar para a gente um resuminho do que essa aplicação vai fazer, pode ser em inglês, pode ser em português, não tem problema. E aqui embaixo você vai registrar o nome de cada pessoa do seu time, nome e e-mail. E uma vez que tiver tudo isso completo, você clica ali em submeter proposta, a gente vai receber e nos próximos dias você vai estar recebendo instruções de como fazer o upload da sua aplicação quando ela estiver pronta. Pergunta? A pergunta é se é necessário ter 5 membros. Não. Pode ter 1, pode ter 5, pode ter 3. E os prêmios são aqueles que a gente falou. Então, só para revisar os prêmios e as regras também, é aberto para todas as pessoas do mundo inteiro, são 4 categorias, vocês têm até amanhã, às 10 horas da manhã, para submeter a ideia do aplicativo e 6 semanas para desenvolver. Os times podem ir até 5 pessoas, mas não são obrigados a ter 5 pessoas. As categorias são melhor aplicativo de open source em Flex, e os prêmios são 5 Creative Suites Web Premium, que aqui no Brasil, se não me engano, cada uma é R$8.000, então o time vencedor vai ganhar 5, e também 5 Flash Builders 4. A segunda categoria é a de vídeo streaming, patrocinada pela Influxes, e os prêmios são 2 Motorola Zooms e 1 ano de serviços deles lá na Influxes, que é muito interessante, eles têm diversos planos, é bem bacana. A terceira é a categoria da Wacom, patrocinada pela Wacom, o melhor aplicativo em Air, usando Air, para a tablet deles. O Constantin está aqui, ele melhorou, ele está ali no stand, então quem quiser entender mais sobre a plataforma deles, é só ir ali conversar com ele vai mostrar algumas coisas. É bem interessante, bem fácil, tem reconhecimento de escrita, você pode controlar as aplicações usando a caneta, também tem suporte a multitalk no próprio tablet, bem bacana mesmo. E os prêmios são 5 Bamboo Tablets, já tem ali do lado, então vocês podem até interagir com esses produtos. E a categoria principal, melhor aplicativo para o Playbook, patrocinado pela RIM. E os prêmios são 5 BlackBerry Playbooks para o time vencedor. E nessa categoria especificamente, o segundo lugar também vai ganhar 5 Playbooks. E como o Guilherme falou ontem, o seu app vai ficar em destaque na loja deles, a loja mundial que se chama App World. Falar um pouquinho sobre o processo, rapidamente sobre o processo de criação de aplicativos usando a tecnologia Flash. A ideia é a seguinte, como o Arno mencionou ontem, você vai usar essa tecnologia chamada Adobe Air, que significa Adobe Integrated Runtime. Você vai escrever todo o seu código em ActionScript, que é a linguagem que o Flash compila, e você vai poder, com o mesmo código, apenas com alguns ajustes visuais ou algumas coisas mais específicas de cada aparelho, você vai poder atingir o iPhone, o iPad, o Playbook, tablets Android, smartphones Android. E o bacana também é que você vai poder atingir todos os computadores, seja Mac, seja Linux, seja Windows. Então, o mesmo arquivo que você vai dar para, por exemplo, esses aqui que são os computadores, você dá o mesmo arquivo, como, por exemplo, quando você vai instalar uma aplicação de Windows, é .exe para você instalar. Então, esse arquivo vai ser .air, e esse mesmo arquivo que você dá para uma pessoa que tem um Windows, você dá para uma pessoa que tem Mac, e ele funciona, ele instala normalmente. Eu até tenho aqui, eu posso mostrar para vocês. Então, como eu falei, a gente faz... Esse é um processo que a minha agência usa lá, tem outras pessoas que usam outras ferramentas, mas a gente usa o Flash Professional, que todo mundo conhece, para ter os nossos assets visuais e as configurações de exportação, e o mesmo código separado. Então, a gente tem diferentes FLAs, diferentes Flash files, consumindo o mesmo código. E se eu quiser exportar para o iPhone, por exemplo, o meu FLA configurado para exportar para o iPhone vai exportar esse arquivo tipo IPA, que uma vez ele gerado, eu dou 2 cliques e ele instala lá no seu iPhone ou no seu iPad. Se for para Android, o tipo é APK, é o mesmo procedimento. Se for para o Playbook, você também já consegue gerar esse arquivo pelo Flash Professional usando linha de código. E aquele último que eu falei, que é o mais tradicional, mais antigo, é o .air, que ele vai funcionar tanto em Mac, em Windows e em Linux. Só para vocês terem uma ideia, a gente fez, eu não sei se vocês vão conseguir ver, mas a gente fez um aplicativo para a ASP, que é a organizadora do Circuito Mundial de Surf, e esse app a gente fez para o iPhone, em Flash. Então você tem todo o controle de votação. A ideia do app é você, como um usuário comum, eles têm 4 milhões de usuários, e como usuário comum poder votar nas ondas do circuito mundial. E você tem um slider aqui para você refinar a sua onda. Deixa eu mostrar ele Ele está rodando aqui, no final da palestra, se vocês quiserem, vocês podem interagir com ele, mas eu vou mostrar ele aqui no desktop, porque ele consome o mesmo código, como eu falei, e usando apenas, mudando as configurações de exportação, a gente fez ele funcionar para o computador. Então ele está abrindo aqui com um ícone nativo lá do Mac. Eu vou logar aqui. E aí, aqui ele está simulando uma bateria, não tem um campeonato acontecendo agora, então entrando com aquele login de teste eu consigo simular uma bateria. E eu tenho aqui, por exemplo, uma onda que não foi julgada ainda, vamos supor que os juízes vão dar uma nota 8, e eu quero dar, eu acho que foi um 7. Então eu uso esse slider aqui, e digo que foi um 7, ou então uma nota perfeita, posso clicar aqui também. Posso mudar o surfista, posso mandar mensagem para os comentaristas lá do evento. Quando ele está no iPhone, quando aparece essa parte para você digitar, sobe o teclado. E eu não preciso fazer nada, é tudo automático já dentro do packager do Flash. Tem um menu também, para entender como é que o aplicativo funciona. Tem um ranking que as pessoas no mundo inteiro podem ver como que elas estão. Quem consegue chegar mais perto da nota do juiz ganha mais pontos. E o bacana, a minha ideia de mostrar isso é a seguinte questão. A gente fez o código uma vez, mudou um pouco o visual e exportou para vários diferentes aparelhos. Isso não tem preço. A gente trabalha muito com Objective-C também, que é a linguagem de programação do iPhone, que é mais complicada, é mais trabalhosa, e uma vez que você termina o seu programa para o iPhone e para o iPad, você não tem como portar aquele código para outra plataforma. Você tem que começar do zero se for fazer para Android, tem que começar do zero se for fazer para o Playbook. E fazendo em Flash, você consegue exportar para todos esses diferentes casos. Então, só para mostrar rapidinho, eu estou aqui com o Flash Professional. Vamos supor que eu quero criar um aplicativo para o iPhone. Isso aqui é mais para mostrar para vocês, vai ser bem simples, mas é para mostrar para vocês o quão simples é fazer uma aplicação para rodar no iPhone e também para motivar principalmente as pessoas que estão começando agora e ver que não é complicado. Vocês têm aí essa estrutura toda do Flashcamp para tirar suas dúvidas com todas as empresas. Então, por exemplo, vou aqui criar um aplicativo de iPhone OS. Posso importar uma imagem aqui. Vamos lá, File, Import. Importar para o Stage. Tem aqui o Homer gritando. E eu vou fazer o seguinte, toda vez que a gente clicar na tela, o Homer vai gritar. Então, eu vou transformar o Homer num botão aqui. E vou editar aqui. Toda vez que eu chegar aqui, eu vou tocar um som. Então, uma diferença também. Como é celular, como é diferente do mouse, não é quando você passa o mouse em cima, é uma coisa, realmente quando você pressiona o botão. Então, naquele estado de down, a gente vai tocar o som. Então, vou colocar um som aqui para ficar disponível na minha biblioteca. E aí eu só arrasto esse som agora aqui para o meu frame. E eu posso compilar minha aplicação para testar. Está aqui já no formato do iPhone. E se eu clicar... Então, esse é o processo de você criar a aplicação, super simples, super rápido. E para exportar, eu venho aqui nas ferramentas de exportação. Olha lá, ele vai gerar um arquivo .ipa, o nome do aplicativo, a versão, eu quero dizer se é portrait, se é assim de retrato ou se é landscape. Eu posso focar na GPU, como o Arno falou. Se você usar a GPU, a performance melhora muito, principalmente para controle gráfico. Seleciono os ícones que eu quero. Então, é um processo bem simples. Então, mesmo vocês estão começando, tentem, vale a pena, é bem interessante, bem simples. E fazendo uma vez, vocês podem atingir todos esses diferentes dispositivos. Então, só voltando aqui. Como eu mostrei para vocês, o nosso Surf Vault lá, ele tem diferentes flash files, arquivos de flash, consumindo o mesmo código e exportando para diferentes aparelhos. Eu já fiz a demonstração. E os avisos finais aqui, lembrando que a gente tem um questionário da RIM, da BlackBerry nas suas pastinhas. Respondam, deixem lá com eles, que no final a gente vai fazer vários sorteios. Tem a área de stands aqui atrás. A gente está com... Eu não sei se vocês viram a logo da gente Action do lado direito, do lado da Adobe. Lá no fundo a gente está com o Kinect, para vocês interagirem, brincarem. Tem vários jogos, é bem bacana. Também tem uma área para vocês ficarem usando o laptop, com os conectores de energia. Então, se vocês quiserem usar lá, está disponível. Não esqueçam de tirar sua foto e pegar a impressa antes que acabe o papel. Como eu falei, usem o Camp para tirar suas dúvidas sobre o App Contest. E como eu falei mais cedo também, hoje, às 8 horas, a gente vai ter muitos e muitos sorteios aqui. E depois do sorteio, a gente vai ficar aqui mais 1h30 na área de stands para o pessoal se conhecer, trocar cartão e, quem sabe, gerar novos negócios. Então é isso, pessoal. Eu quero desejar para vocês um ótimo Camp hoje. E a primeira palestra de hoje é com o Alex. Cadê o Alex? Where are you? Tá ali. Ele é o CEO da Alternativa Platform, que é aquela agência que fez aquele jogo do carrinho que o Arno mostrou ontem. Então, bem bacana, eles mostraram vários cases. A palestra é em inglês, então quem puder, coloca o transmissor. E é isso, pessoal. Ótimo camp. E, por favor, deem as boas-vindas ao Alex.
Is it working? You hear me? It's okay? All right. Everybody sleep well last night? Not me. Who is game developer? Do we have game developers? Okay, all right. Who is using 3D in Flash already? Are there any? Okay. Who is going to use maybe 3D in Flash in future? All right, I see some people. Okay, so it's good for the session.
Alex, can you talk closer to the phone? They're not hearing in the back.
Okay, like that?
Tá melhor? Tem como aumentar o ganho do microfone dele?
Okay. I came a long way here from Russia to tell you a little bit more about new Flash Player version 11 with new 3D API, which is coming maybe by the end of this year. And my name is Alex. I'm working as CEO in Alternativa Platform. I'm first time here. I would like to tell you a short story about our company first, and then we'll see on history of Flash and the idea of 3D in browser, and we'll have a look on what is Molehill, and we'll talk a little bit about new possibilities and challenges for developers. All right, thank you. Do I have to write Brazil with S? Do I? Okay, sorry for that. We have in Russian, it's Brasilia, so it's hard Z. Okay. This is the plan, and yeah, this is my way here. And we are located in Perm, which is the most northeastern million city in Europe, and we are living in a forest with the daughter companies in Chelyabinsk and Shanghai, China. As far as you probably know, we're developing technologies for Flash and implementing complex solutions for customers with different kind of projects. We started as a web studio, and we really did a lot of websites, like 200 plus for our customers, and almost half of that websites were using Flash extensively. I mean, we always try to do something tricky, not just simple animation. Despite of that fact, we are still considered as the top 4 Flash studio in Russia, and we are not working with customers anymore, and we are still on that rating. That's pretty good for the company. But we gave up. When it comes to 200 first website for the customer, you are getting kind of bored and you want something else. So we came up with an idea of multiplayer real-time game in Flash environment, which would be 3D, and that was a crazy idea for that time, and nobody believed that this may work. And after 2 years of development, we finally get the technology. It is Alternativa Core, which is the Java real-time server cluster, and Alternativa GUI, which is the interface library, and of course Alternativa 3D, which is a well-known 3D engine for Flash environment. We also got some other libraries like Alternativa Physics, some importing tools, as well as documentation and tech support and other sweet stuff. After 3 years, we came up with the game. 3 years. Do you get that? I mean, we spent like $500,000 on development before we even get to the product. Now we have a mind game which uses all the technologies that we've developed before. It's called Tanks Online, Tanky in Russian market, and it has 2.3 million registered players already, and we have, yeah, there is a 33,000 online, it's 34 already, and it's growing. And we also developing a new version, which is already supporting Molehill, of course, because this is what it's all about. And the team is growing. We got like 30 developers. 10 of them are really hardcore guys who are doing research, and 20 fighters are just production team and some other people. And as you can see, we have nobody in Brazil yet. This is one of the reasons why I came here. If you know someone who is interested, let me know. Okay. We also spent like 1 year to acquire a license in China, because it's a really complicated stuff. They got 2 ministries fighting each other for controlling online gaming market, and they have also a lot of bureaucracy, so it's a kind of tricky stuff. But it's already working. We just launched it. It's still growing. So it's three-dimensional, it's Flash, it's real-time, and it makes a lot of money at the moment. This is the message. We also got 2 more browser games that are coming. One is Metro 2033 Online, which is the well-known franchise for sci-fi stuff for apocalypse future. Another thing is a secret action shooter. It has no name yet, but already some screenshots. So we are developing technologies and doing research, and we are creating products on that technologies, and then we are running that products online and supporting end users. So an economist might say that we have vertically integrated business. Probably it's just like that. Yeah, this is the story about Alternativa, and let's have a short look on the past. And first, it was virtual reality markup language, which was used to a bunch of new virtual worlds back to 97s, 98s, and there were Shockwave, previously Macromedia, now Adobe's, and there were a bunch of stuff like Cult 3D Viewpoint and other things. And the fact is that they are almost dead at this moment, and there are some reasons for that. It was just too early for real 3D networks because we got slow connections and people were just getting to know what internet is, and it was really early. And of course we had also poor GPUs, no graphics card, or like, do you remember Voodoo graphics or something like that? It's crap stuff from the point of view of today, so you can imagine. And the second part is low value, because what's wrong? It's okay, all right. There were practically no 3D content over the web. I mean, you can get the technology, but if you can't get anybody develop something using your technology, you get no content. So there is no sense to use that technology, and there is no value for end customer to set up the plugin, to download it. It's 5 megabytes. Oh man, no, I won't download it. Yeah, do you remember that? And of course, poor solutions, because the industry needs to go some way until it gets to some real interesting products. Okay. We did our first 3D experiments even in Pascal language, if you know this one. And then yeah, Pascal, it was long ago, man. And then we did a lot of experiments using Flash, not free, Flash 4, Flash 5, and so on, and it was far from serious solution, of course, but we already saw the potential of that solution, because you're getting to almost any user on the globe without downloading any additional stuff, and right away you're displaying your pretty cool, sweet 3D project. This is a good idea. And when we were making Alternativa for Flash version 8, people were also laughing and like, there is no sense for do that, nobody will buy it. It's true, of course, I will show you later, but you can make money using that technologies. Okay. Of course, a lot of people were thinking about that, and there were a couple of good startups back to 2008, and we get to know each other at the sessions at the Adobe Max in Milan, Italy, and that year, and this is how it all began. Away 3D is going open source, and they are utilizing maximum of possible special effects. And Paper Vision 3D team used to create products for customers, just not thinking about technology itself. And they are still doing it, but Carlos went to Unity 3D from Flash. That happens maybe sometimes. Okay, now we have a lot of stuff going on around, and we got a bunch of 3D engines popping up. And there are some new and very smart guys that we are afraid of already. And big gaming companies are in Flash pre-release group already. So yeah, Alternativa 3D is the first in this list because it's an alphabetical order, just it. And we also got different technologies, which is Unity 3D, of course, which is very well known and has growing community, and HTML5, which shows very good potential so far, but not, it's still a long way to go for that technology, of course. So finally, this year, after years of complaining and asking Adobe and terrorizing Adobe's engineers, we are getting hardware support for Flash modules showing 3D graphics. Thank you, Adobe, very much. We are happy, finally. Okay, what does that mean for a bunch of enthusiasts and for people who are eager to create three-dimensional projects for internet? That means that you will be able to display really complex 3D scenes, like millions of polygons, and then you will polish them with the shaders, and it will look really cool, and it will get to almost any device that are supporting Flash 11, and that will be even iOS and Android. This is confirmed by Adobe, and right now they are working on optimizing stuff for every device. The API is pretty stabilized already. If you are taking part in pre-release group, you can know that. And of course, there are some limitations. I mean, this is pretty far from what we have in modern 3D games on PC, because it's limited by OpenGL ES version 2 standard limits, and it's pretty much like previous generation of graphics card. But it's still okay because you got mobile devices and the screen is really small, and you don't want to get that millions of polygons because it's small, really. You can't show them up. So that's okay for Flash, and that's also good for social networks, because the social network, you got the screen like that for your application. Of course it can go full screen, but normally you play it like that, and it's still small screen. So yeah, we don't have a really modern solution, but it will get to any last device on the world. That's good news for almost every developer. Adobe is releasing Molehill this year, and they showed the test application, which was, yeah, it's previous. You probably saw that red Ferrari, which is riding around Los Angeles Convention Center. It was shown on the Adobe Max last year in December, and of course it's very good for the company. Also, Flash will be able to use gaming controllers, so you can connect joystick, you can connect steering wheel, and you can get advanced players to really play your games, and it's getting serious for the gaming. Right now, there is a big rush going on between 3D engines. We did 3D before with some kind of magic, and right now it's open market. You can take Molehill API, you can implement your own stuff, you can get your own engine working. It's 3D, it's hardware rendered. So everybody can do that, and we see a lot of startups popping around, as I said before. So we are waiting for the big announcements from big companies this year, like gaming companies. And there is a big challenge for every of you who want to create three-dimensional application, because there are a lot of aspects around that. For example, let's see, it has low-level API. That means you don't get a fashion-like 3D free editor, three-dimensional editor for your scene. No, it's not like that. It's still a bunch of coding. You still have to code everything by yourself. There are no tools, no import, no export, and no lighting, no physics, no nothing. The good news is that it's still flexible and you can take third-party solutions, because a lot of people are developing stuff at the moment, and we'll have like 20 engines to choose from by the end of this year, I think. So it's good for developers. You can choose whatever you want for your project. Okay, we got three-dimensional high-poly content. Is it good? Yeah, it's good, because you get high detailed scene, and you get special effects and looks flashy, and you're using game controllers and stuff like that, but it's pretty complicated thing. Getting into 3D is the whole different story, and it's an expensive pipeline of production of 3D content, because you get textures, you get normal maps, you get reflection maps, you get environment maps. You have to create level of details for your objects. You have to write shaders. This is completely different from what you do in ActionScript. You have to work with camera in three-dimensional space. So it's really big story. And getting to mobile devices may sound good, because you get a lot of users. They're new one, they're on the road, so you can implement some new experience for that users. And there are a lot of ways to apply your talent, because you get really, it's cool, you get Flash on mobile device, it's 3D, it's working, it's fast, it's not draining battery in a second. So yeah, I dream about that. But it's bad as well, because you have to adapt for a new format. You have to carry on the risk of developing stuff for the new device, and you have to get to know how to use touch screen in the right way, how to use accelerometer, how to use GPS, how to implement augmented reality, for example, if you need that. And we're getting to the new open market, which is a great opportunity, because, as I said before, everybody can do almost everything. But the bad news is, like, there is a new share on the market, and it's fresh, it's tasty. So big players are like looking at that and, whoa, what's going on? Is it a gaming stuff around Flash? Is it a new wave? Let's start our new franchise. Why don't we create, I don't know, Need for Speed, for example, or FIFA for Flash? I don't know. So a lot of people are going to create products using Molehill this year, and it's a big competition, which means it's a great opportunity still. Okay, now what will happen to Alternativa, since a lot of stuff is going on? As I mentioned, we are using our engine by ourselves to create the games first. That's why the community gets the engine, which is already optimized and pretty useful in daily coding. That's why we are not on this rush for the best and the very fast engine that is firstly released under Molehill. No, we don't need that, and we still don't have public release for developers. But we'll have one at this moment, hopefully, only basic functions, but still it's April, so it's pretty soon. We are focusing on maximum commercial value for the solution, because we are using that to make money by ourselves before we are getting this out to community. That means stability, that means fast basic displaying functions, that means useful import from 3D Max, because we are using it daily, and only after that you get special effects and some other sweet stuff. So we are not in a hurry, and we want to share something quality, something which is working and which proved its usefulness on a real project. Soon we got new people in the team, and they are responsible for technical support for the community, and what they do is they answering on the forum 24/7, and they are creating tutorials and lessons, and they are filling up new wiki, and we got some lessons on English as well, and as well as other languages like Japanese and Chinese, for example. Enthusiasts do that. We don't do that. Like, people are writing us, I can write some lessons. Can you pay me money? Of course, why not? Stuff like that. we're also creating some tools for scene editing and export import, and we got whole new 3D Max plugin, and we are still keeping this engine free for community. We don't want to sell it. We were trying to sell licenses for some time, but it seems like it's completely useless. So we're giving this away to community for free, but it's still not open source, sorry. So my message is just, there is a whole new universe lying at your hands. It's fresh, it's new, nobody's there, it's new market. You can get there, you can grab your team, you can create three-dimensional application for Flash, and it will be successful. I'm telling you, we're making $500,000 per month, and it's growing. So yeah, you can do that as well. So download, install stuff, learn. There is a bunch of information to read about if you read in English. If no, we can translate it in Portuguese if we see the interest, and ask the community, get the project, run it, launch it, and get money back and invest them in new cool projects. Just enjoy that. This is the whole new world of possibility. We got some resources for developers which are good to use, and feel free to visit stuff. This is my story. If anybody has questions, just raise your hand. Are there anybody who can translate it back into English? Can you speak English, my friend? Okay, okay. Does anybody have questions in English? We'll get that translated, yeah.
You can talk about no document code using Alternativa. You can talk about no documented code using Alternativa.
No documented code?
No documented code.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Flash, you mean, or in the engine?
In Alternativa Platform.
Okay. I don't understand the question, sir. Yeah, we have some undocumented code, of course.
No, talk about the no document code of Flash.
Ah, you mean using
Alternativa Platform.
non-documented features in Flash? Yeah, Flash has some stuff which is not documented, of course, and yeah, you can use that. But right now, Molehill is not stable yet. They are still changing some stuff. They are changing commands, and they are like releasing new build every 3 weeks, for example. And every 3 weeks, we have to recode our demos because they are not working with the new version. So it's still a way to go, and we'll see. Probably, yeah, we'll find some tricky stuff around in the code. Anybody else?
Thanks.
Okay, no questions. That's good. Thank you very much, and write emails. Thank you.
Alex? Do you have working pieces for them to see? Like the games, actually?
Yeah, I have thanks version 2 that I can show up.
Yeah, that would be great. We still have 30 minutes, so if you can show.
That's why I said I didn't sleep well. We still can't get shadows working perfectly. Okay, we got Molehill player, and yeah, as you can see, it's takes time to load the application. That's a bad news about new 3D content, because you get textures which are pretty big, you get normal maps, you get reflection maps, you get geometry, you get animation, which is stored in a format. It's compact, but it still weighs something. So as you can see, it's loading and loading and loading. This is what will happen with your applications as well. That's why we are working on caching stuff. First time users get into your game, he or she downloads everything. Second time, it gets faster. It's still a question on how cache will be implemented in Molehill, and they are still working on that, and there are still no solutions. It's because of security problems. Adobe is always looking for stable solutions which is secure, and until they are sure that the player won't crash your system or won't break your security, they won't release the player. So probably this will be this year or maybe next. We still don't have a release date. But Molehill is already on Adobe Labs and you can get it. So as you can see, this is Flash. Yeah, it shows version 10, but actually it's not. It's Molehill, and we got like 27 frames per second. It's garage for the new tanks, and there is a battle. Yeah, see, it's loading. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's still broken. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, if someone's interested, please come later. I can get this working. It's still buggy. I'm telling you, we have no shadows, we have still bugs, it still crashes. So it's a long way to go. This year is the year of stabilizing this solution. So it's still a work in progress. I hope that makes sense. Thank you.
Alex, there's a question there somewhere.
Okay.
Aperta esse botão cinza que ele fica verdinho.
Oi. Could we use Molehill to develop TV applications, or in the future it will be used?
TV applications?
Yes, in 3D.
It depends on what Adobe will do with TV software developers. I mean, yeah, probably some platforms will allow new Flash Player to run on it, but I have no news for you at the moment on that topic.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Hi, Alex. I want to know if you think Molehill has the application for mobile is ready for mobile consumption.
Yeah, it will work on iOS. It will work on Android. This is confirmed by Adobe, and we already have some test applications on devices. But the problem right now is about memory, because we got textures and sounds and they are just not fitting the normal smartphone memory, and it crashes all the time.
Oh. No.
It's still work in progress, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oi, a gente estuda aqui web design, só a gente estuda design. E muitos aqui não são muito do campo da programação. A gente quer saber como funciona a interação do designer que projeta, mas não programa. A equipe é assim eclética ou só é formada por programadores?
Do you know Unity 3D? For example, you don't know. Okay, there is a solution for designers. It is called Unity 3D. It used to be competitor to New Flash, but right now they are supporting Molehill, so you can use their environment to create your game and publish it on iOS, on every other device, or whatever you want. There is a world editor. It's pretty cool. It's good for designers, but it's still a lot of work on coding. So you have to get experienced ActionScript guy who will help you out.
Ok, obrigado.
Mais perguntas?
Okay, I'm around, so if you have questions, we can meet later.
Ele
Just
vai
feel
ficar
free.
aqui no evento, então se vocês tiverem perguntas, curiosidades, podem abordar eles. Então é isso, pessoal. Vamos agradecer. Thank you very much for coming.